Okay, so we are now going to the best five films made in 2021, and these are the films that I enjoyed the most personally. And I do think that no matter where you are, you should find these films and watch it, and comment down below if you like it or not. So, number five spot is just a magical film. What can I say? It's just pure magic. It is a film from Georgia, and I'm really proud to say, because I don't really, unfortunately, include many Georgian films on my recommendations, because we are a small country. We make a few films, but lately I have to admit that I've been enjoying watching Georgian films past 2 3 years. There are always two or three feature films that I really distinguishedly enjoyed, and I'm really proud of Georgian filmmakers, especially in the conditions that they are working with current unfriendly cultural environments. Not to go deep in that, the number five spot is What Do We See When We Look at the Sky, directed by Alexander Koberidze. The IMDb synopsis says, a chance encounter on a street corner has Lisa and Georgi fall in love at first sight, but an evil spell is cast on them. Will they ever meet again? Um, the film is set in Kutaisi, which is a city in Georgia, and it really, if you've been to Kutaisi, it will remind you about the certain character traits of the city, but and you will fall in love with the city all over again. And if you have not been to Kutaisi, you will definitely have the desire to visit it. It is just an amazing fairy tale of this chance meeting. What I really loved about this film is that it hits you on a very sensitive spot in your heart. This film is all about the feelings that we once had and we forgot. So that's why this film, personally to me, is like this childhood summer vacation when I used to go to my relatives' countrysides, and I didn't have to study, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to be there for my relatives. I just had to eat. I just had to do whatever I wanted. I just had to be in nature. And this type of vacation and this type of summer holiday really allowed me to open myself up to these spontaneous chance meetings that unfortunately rarely happen now when you plan your holiday. So it really encourages you to go back to that very kind and soft spot in your heart, that you really, and all of us really have. We just ignore it all the time. This film, I thought, would be very banal, very sentimental, very cliche, but of course it's not. It is a very unique composition of sun, warmth, love, and how to say, if you are Georgian, you will know that this is a very Georgian film, and if you are not Georgian, you will know that this is a very universal film. It is a type of unique film that is universally unique, I would say, and I can definitely see the traits of different filmmakers. When I was watching it, I could, see Abbas Kiarostami's work there. I could see Bresson's mise en scenes there, but you couldn't say that Koberidze used these filmmakers. It's not that he is trying to quote someone. He's just referring and paying tribute to history of filmmaking, I think, while contributing his personal touch. And that's why this film will have a really big place in the not only in 2021, but I think this film will stay and put its mark in the history of filmmaking because it's very unique, very positive, shows you the non-linear understanding of life as one. And that's why I really appreciate it, because the viewer is becoming the part of the life and part of the story that these characters are already having. So you are not, when you watch the film, the film starts, it continues, and then ends. When I started watching What Do We See When We Look at the Sky, it seemed for me that I joined the characters and they were already having the journey. And I don't even imagine that these characters don't live happily ever after in Kutaisi. It's this type of film that makes you understand that despite all the hardships in the world and despite all the miseries, there is still the chance, and I say chance, of spontaneous meetings. And wherever you are, I think you should go ahead and try to get this film. Fourth spot is also, it reminds me of What Do We See When We Look at the Sky, because for me these two films have the very same type of feeling and vibe. So the number 4 spot is Licorice Pizza, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, American filmmaker. I think everyone knows Paul Thomas Anderson, but let's read this synopsis. The story of Alana Kane and Gary Valentine growing up, running around and going through the treacherous navigation of first love in the San Fernando Valley, 1973. When I read it, I just imagine California, San Fernando in the 70s. This truly is one of my favorite epochs in the world to make films about. And I have watched a lot of content about 70s and 60s in America. So what I really love about this film is the same thing that I could have said about What Do We See When We Look at the Sky. This is a film of two young people who are falling in love in spite of everything that's been happening to them. And we see the journey of Alana and Gary Valentine. Oh my god, if you watch this film, how can you not love Gary Valentine? He's such a cute character. He's also a very type of American character, always driven to success, always goal orientated, he's always trying to make money out of everything and go from one project to another project. And then he meets Alana, who is a Jewish young human being, and we see that she just really wants to fall in love. But the main thing about this film that I really loved is sometimes it also happens in life that we see each other but we don't really see each other. And in this film, Alana and Gary had to undergo a lot to finally see each other. Although they met, they had to go through a lot to really meet each other, to really see each other the way that's supposed to. So, and in life it happens, because We need we are when we meet certain people, we are not ready for them. We are not ready to see them as they are, and we have to go under a lot of things in life to better see them, but first of all to better see ourselves. It is a very, very beautiful story, and all the characters are very, very well made. Everyone has something to offer to the viewer, even um, not a main protagonist. And also, the way that Paul Thomas Anderson directs the mise en scenes is amazing. He really knows how to show, where to show it, who to show with. He is the filmmaker who knows that the film is not only about the script, and the film is not only about the dialogues, but also the film is about aesthetics, and he makes everything visually pleasing. It's a very how to say, tasty film. It's a very tasty film, amazing film, and very, it's like an American cake. It's like an American pie that looks really good. Maybe it has a lot of sugar, but you cannot help to eat it because it's just so good. This is the type of film that Licorice Pizza is about. And I when I watched What Do We See When We Look at the Sky, and when I watched Licorice Pizza, I do have the feeling that they are like brother and sister, because yeah, I was left with the same overwhelmingly warm heart after watching both of these films. When I went to the cinema, and before I saw this film, when I went to the cinema, I was feeling okay, but after watching these two films, when I left cinema, I was just full of positive energy, and yeah, I just wanted to cuddle someone. So it is just an amazing film. Okay, and then number 3 is a very, very, very different film. It's a musical, and I don't usually like musicals, but this is not your average musical, because it's directed by Leo Carax, and Leo Carax is a very unusual filmmaker. He will always surprise you. The film that I'm talking about is Annette. The IMDb synopsis reads, a stand-up comedian and his opera singer wife have a 2-year-old daughter with a surprising gift. Well, it's a very short sentence to describe the film. It's a musical, and it's not your average musical, and I really appreciated the fact that Leo Carax is a French filmmaker, and I could not even imagine how could he do an American film so well, because this is not a French film. This is an American film. Adam Driver plays the main role as a stand-up comedian, and he's American comedian. And the whole film is based on this American celebrity culture, and how utopian and at the same time how shallow it is, and how criminal it is. So this film is a mixture. It's a mixed cocktail. It has cherries, gin. It has everything good in it. But the main thing is that it has everything unexpected, and the one reason, and the main reason why I really love and enjoy and distinguish this film is that Leo Carax really shows you that he doesn't care. He doesn't care about what you think. He will do whatever he wants to do, wherever he wants to do, whether it's in France, Japan, or America. He's just a talented filmmaker, and the talent pours out of every scene that you see in Annette. It is such an unusual film. You should watch it definitely, and especially for me, because I really don't like musicals, and I don't really like the films that focus on bourgeois celebrity lifestyle. But this is something else. This is a criminal musical with an amazing cast: Marion Cotillard and Adam Driver, match made in heaven. And the also the aesthetics of the film, it's so bright, it's so it is like a theater, it's like a musical, but you cannot say that it's not cinema. Amazing film. I definitely would recommend everyone to watch it, because it shows you that filmmakers can do everything that they want to, to do. Leo Carax is an amazingly independent mind that I recommend you to explore. I recommend you to watch all his films. The second film is the second film on my list is from Denmark. It's called Flea, and oh my god, this is such a delicate film. Such I don't even know what to say about it. This film will warm your heart and also make you cry a lot. Flea is directed by Jonas Por Rasmussen. Tells the extraordinary true story of a man, Amin, on the verge of marriage with his partner, and he's to reveal his hidden past for the first time. So Flea is a very different film because it is an animation, but I could not include it on my list. Jonas Rasmussen really chose the correct attitude and a correct tone and correct pace to tackle down the traumatic experience of Amin. So as I said, it tells you the story of Amin, who forcefully fled Afghanistan because of the war, and it tells you his journey and what type of things he underwent in order to settle down in Denmark. His journey through Afghanistan, Estonia, Russia, Denmark, the things that he went through is just amazing. I think especially in this time of the universe, in this time of the world, we should all watch Flea, because it shows you what war and what forceful displacement of a person does to a human being. And I think the fact that it's done through animation gives this story a universal approach, because and anyone can be Amin, and anyone can go through these events that he underwent through. So I think that it's an unbelievably touching story done in the most respectful way. You know, sometimes when filmmakers want to make a film about a war or refugees or any traumatic experience, they don't appreciate the protagonist enough. They don't give the respect that they deserve, and sometimes they want to intrude a lot more than they have the right to. Never dismisses the emotional heaviness of the topic that Amin has. And you know, also, we as human beings, sometimes when we hear that someone is traumatized or underwent through war or, you know, any trauma, sometimes we look down at people. Well, not certainly look down at people, but sometimes we pity person, and this pittiness is a very unnecessary feeling, in my opinion. You should emphasize with people, not pity them. You should respect people, not overlook at them. So this film is done in the most respectful, most human way, and the filmmaker never intrudes, and he never pities Amin because he underwent through a lot of never have the as a viewer, you never think that, oh, poor Amin, oh, he is such a victim. No, he is a person who unfortunately underwent through massive hardships, but that's his life, and we should emphasize with him. We should be proud that he survived and he is able to, experience everyday beauty of the life now. Yes, so I do think that these subjects have to be treated in the most respectful ways, and Flea is a very, very unique piece of art that shows you that traumatic experience, war can be filmed in the most respectful, self-reflecting, human way. So it's an amazing creative animation which has to be acknowledged and watched in every part of the world, I think. And the last but not least on my list, the first place goes to France by Bruno Dumont. Let's read. Celebrity journalist, juggling her busy career and personal life, has her life overturned by a freak car accident. Well, I already knew that the film would be good because it's directed by Bruno Dumont, and Bruno Dumont is a very exceptional filmmaker anyway, but I didn't expect him to... has become my favorite film of Bruno Dumont, not only favorite film in 2021. And the reason why it's number one, because it is my list, and according to my personal taste and my personal attitude, this film is just the kind of film that I would love to make myself. Yeah, I want to make film like France, and actually I wish I made this film. This film is about France, who is portrayed by amazing Léa Seydoux. And the reason why I really love this film is that it has such a rich storyline. So this woman, France, she lives a celebrity type of lifestyle. She's the world beloved journalist, but one day she hits this delivery man with her car, and everything changes. And this is a very unique storyline, and I love this type of storylines where you live your ordinary lifestyle, whether it's celebrity lifestyle or other type of lifestyle, and something happens in your life and your way of living, your life philosophy changes. And we see how France has everything, but she loses the energy to do everything. She does not see the point of life, and you cannot put the finger why she has this sudden existential crisis, but Bruno Dumont is such a master. You don't need to put a finger in anything. You don't need to, how to say, reason why it's happening. You just know it's happening because Bruno Dumont shows you the right mise en scenes. No reasoning or no logical sequence is required. It's just life. It's just the psyche of a person that changes based on a complex way of how life works. But you don't need to put your finger on anything. The life of France is opening and revealing in front of you because of Bruno Dumont's amazing talent. This film is the film that you cannot take your eyes off. I have watched it almost 10 times. The way that Dumont is working with Léa Seydoux is just how a filmmaker would like to work to the actor. The way he makes her cry, the way he makes her laugh, it is just done in such a masterful way. I don't even know how he manages to do that because Léa Seydoux is so genuine. You are with her in every feeling that she is going through, and you really empathize with her. So this type of films that is very vivid and very I'll say fleshy. It's a flesh and a soul of a human being, and I do think that it's the best film made in 2021. Bravo, Dumont. He just nailed it. So these were 10 best films that I selected personally from 2021. Let me know what is your favorite film made in 2021. Give me recommendations. I can also do 10 worst films of 2021 because there are some films that a lot of people liked and I didn't like, and you obviously know because I didn't put them on my list. But anyway, thank you for joining. I know that I couldn't really explain the films in the best way possible, but it's a very difficult thing to describe a film. You just need to watch it. It's a cinematic experience. It's not there to describe. And I just recorded this video just to inspire you to watch these films, or maybe not to watch these films, but in no way my explanation will do justice to any of these films. They are 100 times they deserve 100 times more praise than I could ever put in words. But yeah, thank you and good luck and peace everywhere you are.